Hello friends, my name's TheRealEmile and welcome back to Forza Horizon. We're continuing on with our Let's Play today. In the last episode we drove a Mental Beetle and this Ford Focus RS 500. In today's episode we're going to drive many other things.
You're not allowed to enter that car.
We need a car worth less than 15,000 credits. Okay, I know, just the car. Yes, we need to go tune one up. Now, should I go with the... No, it's the auto show, isn't it? I always get that mixed up. I don't know why. Now, the question is, should I buy, like, a B or an A-class car and just upgrade it dead quick? Or should I make a mental nutter machine? What do we got? I'm tempted into one of the Golfs, almost. I want to use Golf at some point. Do we want a Toyota Subaru thing? Oh no, 15 grand. Right, there's no way to organise this by price, is there? Is there? I don't think there is. All affordable. No. Okay, so we need to find something that's cheap and cheerful. I'm gonna start over here, but I doubt we'll find anything. Could have an S2000 or an Evo 6. That's the obvious choice, though. I don't really want to go with the Evo 6 just yet. I like the Evo 6, I really do, but there's probably a bunch of people screaming, E86, god damn it. But no, we're not going to use that. No. I don't know. Right, we'll use the Evo. I think, yeah, that's probably our best bet. I am going to run Mark 1 Golf at some point in one of these. I just don't know when. I'm sort of seem to be verging on the edge of choosing one recently, so we'll definitely have one at some point. So yes, we are now tuning on a budget, or rather we're not, because we've got 3 parts, but yeah. Whenever these things, we used to do like budget car challenges and all sorts back in the day on this game. The Evo is, I believe I've spoke about this a few times. The Evo 6 is basically the best value for money car in this game. It's very, very cheap. It's fairly high class for what it is. Yeah, it's probably the best value for money car in this game. Not the best, like overall best car ever. That's probably the Skyline R34. That's a reasonably good car. Right, first things first, brakes and suspension, because this was a rally car once. We'll have a little bit of weight reduction as well. Gears will be good, because this is what was a rally car. Anything we can do engine wise, we can only swap the Evo 10 block into it. I don't really fancy doing that. I'm going to go sport tyres on this and just up the whips, just because I don't think we're going to need big tyres on this. I think it's going to be mostly about power, this build. Do we want a front end? That looks alright, we'll have that. That looks stupid, that looks stupid, that looks worse. Oh my god. All these wings are terrible. We're not going to have any of those. Nah, I don't like that. Nah. Is there any difference between that and that? Let's tidy this up a bit. Reduces some weight, so we'll have it. Okay, power. It's all about that turbo on this car, so we'll up the turbo massively, we'll up the exhaust exuberantly, we'll throw an air filter in. Can we get valves on this? Yes, we can. The PI isn't going up too fast, so I'm kind of concerned about this one almost. Alright, just put a bit more weight reduction into it. Yep, that's the Evo built. There's a lot of power in this, about 420 something horsepower. Yeah, this could be interesting to drive. I don't think it will be though. The it's got 4-wheel drive. Anything with 4-wheel drive is relatively decent to drive. Of course, even the slidey four-wheel drive cars. I was driving the Audi R8 on Forza 5 for something upcoming, which you'll see, or might have already been, I'm not quite sure. It is a mega tune now, yes. But I was gonna say something, it's gone, it slipped out of my mind. Yeah, I was driving the Audi R8, and that's really not a nice car to drive on that game. But even when the rear end comes out, you can just sort of boot it, and it'll sort itself out. It's four-wheel drives are good even when they're bad, basically. Yeah, dear. It's another pretty Ferrari, pretty sunset. I wouldn't be driving that Integra.
I worry about. Many new components not been fully tested. But no problem, as beating you isn't much of a challenge.
You have many new components in your car. It come from Russia. We put gasket head from Lada into Evo. It make it super fast. I don't know where this accent's going. I used to be really good at doing like Russian accents. It just sort of went. I shouldn't joke about Ladas. They're pretty cool. Yeah, this is good, by the way. This car is it's super quick and it's fairly decent for corners. Once we're not getting punted off by Mr. Cool. Definitely a hipster name there. Oh, we got Peter again. Mr. Bankov. He's traded his Mini in for a Honda S2000, which to be fair is probably the best thing he'll ever do in his life. I don't like the new Mini, I've spoken about it a few times. It's too big and heavy and it's not a real Mini, I'm sorry. I like German cars, don't get me wrong, I love them, but Minis shouldn't be German. It just isn't the way this thing should be done. Yes, I mean, you could argue, well, they're made in England exclusively and they're mostly sold in England. I don't know if there's any other countries where they sell Minis nowadays. But even still, it's basically a BMW just with a cutesy body put on it. And they're even starting to use the front-wheel drive technology and know-how that they've learned from the Mini in some other BMWs. That, what's it called? The big 2 Series Grand Tourer, I think. That's a new one that came out, and that's like a front-wheel drive Beamer. I think it's like the first one ever, or something like that. It's crazy. I actually saw one as well, which is the even crazier bit. I don't know what it's like in other countries. I presume most people get excited by the sight of a Ferrari or a Porsche. I get happy when I see something which you don't always see on the road, like a Peugeot 1007 or a 2 Series BMW thing. It's a dog, you can probably hear in the background. Yeah. So if we do the Ford Challenge and then go ahead and do pretty much any other event, we'll be done, and then we can go collect our new shiny other wristband. Which wristband are we getting this time? It's orange, isn't it? This is the 4th wristband. I thought it was the 5th wristband for a second. I was going to say, we're a lot further than I thought it was. Ford Challenge. Must be a Ford. Circa 1980. Is there anything we can buy? I fancy something a bit different than the Boss. We've used the Boss a few times, so... You're going to recommend that. Could use the GTX one, actually. That's a interesting car in this game. How much is it? It's 110,000, isn't it? Right, just let me have a look at this. This is, we might use the Ford GTX 1, I feel. That's a possibility. Where are you, Ford? All of the different Fords we could use for that's bang on PI, 188,000 credits. I think we might have this one. I quite like this. I think what it is it was a concept car that never got made. It's basically a Ford GT convertible. It's pretty cool looking, I've got to be honest. I like the stripe I like the original colours it comes in. Ooh, it comes in black and orange. That does look quite smart as well. We'll go with whatever colour this is. It looks quite smart. I don't know. I like it. It's odd and offbeat. Yes, I want to return to the free roam so we can use this car. I wish the Horizon Recommends section would just show you every single car in that class instead of just showing what the game recommends, because the problem with that is it misses out most of the DLC for this game, and there's a lot of DLC for this game. There really is. I think almost a third of the car list is comprised of DLC. It really is quite something. And of course, I was speaking to someone once and they said, oh, I wish Forza didn't have DLC. And you're like, well, what? So you're saying you'd rather the game not have DLC, and not have any of these shiny new cars, not any of them, none of them, just so you aren't tempted almost into buying them. I don't see that, you know. If you don't want the car pass, don't get it. Me personally, I like the DLC for all Forza games. I've bought every single car pass that is still technically obtainable. I even got the Forza 3 DLC. Unfortunately, they've taken that offline now, so I can't get the absolute final DLC that came out for that game. I have no idea when it came out for that game, because I don't remember them being a DLC. It was like a People's Choice one, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It had an El Camino and a DeLorean in it, but I swear I already had that DLC, but apparently not. We're going to go in third person because the cockpit on a Ford GT is a bit odd. It drives a hell of a lot better than the one in Forza 5 did. I'm going to give it that. The Forza 5 one truly was a terrible, hateful car. This is okay, I guess. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the Ford GT. It's okay. I'd much rather, if we're talking from the period, I'd much rather have a Ferrari F430, or what was the other? Those are different. I wouldn't have a Lamborghini Gallardo because I'm not a huge fan of the Gallardo either, or Gallardo, or however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, I'd much rather just have Ferrari F430 over a Ford GT, but that's just me. Got a hell of a nice supercharger noise on this though. I love supercharger noises. I really want to do a challenge one day where it's like find the best supercharger noise in Forza. I'll probably wait until Forza 6 comes out for that though, because that game is just... Forza 5 has absolutely excellent sound, so yeah. It's one thing the Forza game's always done well. I believe Battlefield has the same sort of thing as well, where it always gets praised for its sound. Although, to be fair, the only other game Forza really compares to is Gran Turismo, and Gran Turismo, the cars don't sound absolutely terrible, but they all sound almost exactly the same, and they're all not particularly nice to hear. A lot of people say they sound like vacuum cleaners. I don't know. I'm not going to knock Gran Turismo. I love Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 2 and 4 are probably my favourite games ever. But the newer ones just haven't been that great. GT5 was not received particularly well. I had a few niggles with it. And GT6, I mean, GT6 was okay, but it didn't feel like a whole new game to me. I don't know if I was the only one who got this. GT6 sort of just felt like a GT5 reskin with a couple of, what's the word, easy features put in it. And yeah, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I do like Gran Turismo. As I said, I like the other two, but I don't know. A lot of people are on about Gran Turismo 7 for PlayStation 4. I don't know, it will be a while. It'll probably be heavily delayed if we've learned anything from the past few years. And then, I don't know. I hope they don't import the models from the PS2 era, because that's got to be really shoddy. Because you've got to bear in mind, GT6 features car models, which, and I'm not joking here, I'm not trying to bash the game by the way, I'm just going to double check that before I say it. But there's actually a Lamborghini Diablo God, how do you pronounce it? JGTC car, like a Japanese racy GT500 car. That model was in Gran Turismo 3. It wasn't in 4, but then it came back in 5 and 6, and it hasn't been premiumized. So that model technically comes from sometime before 2001. So they're using like 13-year-old car models in the game, and it just looks inconsistent. I'm not going to call the developers lazy, because they're not by any stretch of the imagination. No developer, well, there is a few I can think of, but he's not a lazy developer. He's just, it's almost like they don't really care anymore. Oh, is my car not eligible? It's an open top car. You wouldn't say that to that. Ow, ow. You wouldn't say that to that Ferrari 458, which we're probably gonna. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. I want a Lotus, I think. Or do I want an Audi R8 GT Spider? I think we're gonna have to go for the Audi R8 GT Spider. Yes. I'm not a huge fan of the Audi R8. I'd rather have one over a 458 Italia, because I don't like the 458 Italia, but R8 Spider does look quite smart. It really does look like something I'd quite like to drive. Oh, yes, I know about the difficulty and the rivals and all the rest of it. And there's a Celica going sideways on the dirt because rally. Eagle Speedster. I would have one of them. The only problem with them is they cost like 550,000 credits. They're ludicrously expensive. Power speed. Listen to that. Audi made Lamborghini Vettel V10 working there. 5.2, sorry, 5.2 litre V10, obviously. From a Lamborghini Gallardo. It's not. Technically, it is an Audi engine in a Lamborghini, but it's a Lamborghini engine in an Audi to me. God, it does sound good. As far as budget supercars go in this world, you really cannot do any better than the Audi R8. And that's almost why I don't like it. The R8, at least to me, is one of them cars which you don't buy it because you buy it because you want a supercar, but you don't want to spend too much money. So you're almost portraying to the world, I bought a supercar because I was trying to be sensible. If you're going to buy a supercar, don't be sensible. Buy a Lamborghini Aventador. I don't know, buy a... Even the Gallardo's a bit less, you know, cash strapped than this is. Not the Huracan. I don't like the Huracan. The Huracan, at least for me, just symbolises a company that's probably given up now. It's a bit too predictable. Which isn't something you should ever say about a Lamborghini. Basically, an Aventador and a Gallardo had a baby, and that's kind of what it looks like. Ow. This does have some four-wheel drift even on this game. Yeah, not the most exciting of vehicles, I have to admit. There we go.
The crowds are loving you.
Yep, so we've managed to spend $500,000 this episode, which is cool.
Hey, I've got something to deal with over at Race Central. Meet me there to collect your orange wristband.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stay in it, why not? So yeah, I've ranted about supercars. We've driven many open-top cars in this episode. It's been a success. I like the fact this Horizon has open tops.
That was cool. I'm getting hang of this now. One more race. Marco versus Lucky Boy. You can keep car if you win.
I can keep car if I win. I do not want GTR. Depending on how long I've been recording for, I might go and grab his GTR quickly. Because the GTR is hella quick. We did a drag race between a Veyron and a GTR, and I Rather stupidly said, oh, well, the Veyron's going to be so much faster than the GTR. Well, GTR. Race Central!
Congratulations, an orange wristband. You're knocking out some big names. I hear Darius Flint is starting to worry about you.
Look at him with his driving gloves. Of course he's worrying about me. I have driving gloves. How long have we been recording for? 20 minutes. Okay, let's go get his GTR. No, it's not too long. So many orange events. Jesus. We need a car for that. Or what is it? Lotus. We need a Lotus. Okay, that's S-Class event. Should we snag a Lotus on the way to get in his car? Brakes, they work, that's good. Okay, so first of all we want a Lotus, a Loti. Gotta go with the Exige S because I quite like the Exige S. And then I'm gonna find something to race him with because I don't really want to use this, I want to use something else. That green, why not? Let's have British racing green because of course Lotus is Malaysian. Right. S-Class. What do we got? Let's just go up to there. No, expensive. Ooh, there's a Viper. There is a Viper. I thought that was the DLC for a second there. I was going to say what? You're all helplessly expensive. Is that BMW a S? Wow. That's kind of at a disadvantage, isn't it? You know what? Where is she gone? We're gonna have a Viper. I absolutely adore this generation of Viper. I'll have it in black with the dark grey stripes because that's the way we roll. I love... Words cannot express my love for the 2013 Dodge Viper. It's just fantastic. I've actually spoken with a couple of friends about this before. If I had my dream 5-car garage, there would be a Dodge Viper, a Koenigsegg Agera, a Aston Martin Vanquish. What else would I have? A Ford Focus ST. And the 97 Civic Type R. I think that's my absolute choice for best garage ever. Tyre whips we'll need some new brakes as well because Vipers aren't exactly known for stopping particularly well. We'll get some of those as well just to bump the PI up a little bit to S. Braking is 10. I'm quite amazed at that. You can't fit anything more onto that. I think that's completely done. Okay, it's upgraded. Let's go and race the Viper. Just trying to look out my window if there's any interesting cars going past. Which there isn't. There's just a lot of voxels. Okay. Fast travel. Marco Baran? I think that's what his name is, I'm not sure. Let's just go. Sign me up to get that GTR, though. Yes. Oh, we could have used the Rough. I found out the hard way. Roughs aren't particularly good cars the other day. Well, I like them. I've got to be honest. I like Roughs more than I like Porsches, just because Porsches are tuned to find precision items, and Rough basically go and just undo all of that precisionness and just give straight speed. Hopefully this Viper has good speed. I don't like how I don't quite know when they got this car. Unfortunately, it looks like the actual... When you over rev in a Viper... balls. I was trying to change view. When you over rev in a Viper, there's like a little Viper symbol comes up on the steering wheel, whereas on this one it looks like it just glows red, which isn't particularly good. That GTR is quick. The GTR is really quick. Maybe he'll crash into something. I've got another gear, I think. Jesus Christ, he's flying. I think it's because he got a much better launch. I don't think that is actually much. Yeah, we're pulling him in. Although, to be fair, it looks like he had an accident with something. Come on, Viper, power! I think 5th gear's got more of a pull on it than... 6th gear seems to be more of a cruising gear. We're definitely getting up to them now. We're starting to slipstream, I think. We're drafting. Come on, Marco, have a spin. Have a crash. Die in a horrible way. No, don't do that. Ah, can we reach 200? No, 6th gear just has no pull, does it? Oh, God! He's braking there. I'm not. Ha. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it in 5th. There's really no point of going into 6th gear. It just has no pull on it whatsoever. Which is a bit of a shame. I was kind of hoping for like 200 out of this. I don't know if we'll reach it. I know we won't around this bank bend because you need to seriously keep your speed up around here. Or rather, it nails your speed a little bit because obviously it's a banked corner. Oh my God, there's a Prius. Priuses. I love it how in the same place where Priuses are being driven, I'm driving an racing an 8.4 litre V10 monstrosity. Now I've got a GTR behind me, and they're all insistent that the next GTR will be a hybrid. I'll stop liking the GTR for that. To be fair, I quite like the GTR. I don't hate it. There's a few bits about it I don't like. I don't like the internet's insistence on that it's the best car ever, because it really isn't. As far as budget supercar goes, I know I said the R8 was the best budget supercar. That's actually probably a bit better. I'd rather have a GTR over an R8, but it's still a Nissan. It hasn't quite got the prestige someone like Audi has, and to be fair, neither of them have the prestige that the other supercar company has. Okay, right, we're in the GTR. There's a barn find over here, so we'll just go and grab that quickly. This episode shall never end. Alright. Shadow.
Hey, I hear the barn find is around Bunker. It's marked on your map.
Okay, we'll go get that barn find as well, I guess, because why not? This is the episode of many things. Oh, cop. Power! Right, it's somewhere along here, I think. Or is it a bit further up? I can't remember. No, it's definitely down there. Maybe I missed the turn off for it. Nope, not that way. There's a TVR. Byron in his TVR. Ah, there's the barn. I see it, I see it, I see it, I see it. Once you kind of know what the barn building's like, this becomes a bit easier. There we go. Swing her into there. What do we got?
I can't believe what I'm seeing in front of me. You have found one of the rarest cars in the world. The Shelby Daytona Coupe. She doesn't look like a winner right now, but a little TLC will have this girl breaking hearts again. I can promise you that.
Well, have a guess what car we're using next episode. I love the Cobra. Right. Okay, and then she said something about another one over here in Bunker, which I believe somewhere around here. It's a fairly simple one, the one in Bunker. The only problem is there's so many bloody roads around Bunker, it gets a bit confusing. Where is it? Where is it? Where's it? Where's it? Where's it? It's over there, I think. Power. Oh, there it is. I see it, I see it, I see it, I see it. Power. Oh, it's an Aston thing, or is it a Jag? I don't know. It's one of the two
Yes,
cars I
sir.
don't like.
You have surpassed yourself this time. This is the classic racing legend of the 50s. The Jaguar D-Type. Don't you worry, old girl. I'll have you back to your 1955 glory in no time.
It's Jaguar, not Jaguar. You don't like put emphasis on the UAR, you just Jag. The Jag. Right, anyway. This episode's gone on far too long, probably. I will see you in the next episode. Until next time, farewell.